Take a deep breath. Let yourself slow down and become present in this moment. Today we're reflecting on the place where you live. Not just your home, but the city, the neighborhood, the larger environment that surrounds you. These spaces are more than just locations. They are living, breathing parts of your life. Where you live is the setting for so much of your journey. It's the streets you walk, the parks where you pause, the shops and cafes that add character to your days. Your city or town carries a personality all its own, shaped by its history, its people, and its landscape. And you, in turn, are part of shaping it. Think about your neighborhood. Perhaps it's a place where you hear the laughter of children, where you see familiar faces as you go about your day, or where the trees line the streets like old friends. Maybe it's the place where you've built connections, where certain corners or landmarks hold memories of moments that have mattered. Your city, your town is a hub of opportunity. It might be the libraries or schools that nurture learning, the businesses that fuel creativity, or the natural spaces that give you a moment to breathe. It could be the festivals, the community events, or even the quiet evenings when the city slows and rests. Each of these adds texture to the place you call home. Every community has its challenges. Maybe you've noticed the noise, the pace, or the areas where it feels like improvement is needed. These feelings are valid. But for now, let's take a moment to see beyond those frustrations. Let's notice what's good, what's working, what adds value to your life. Is there a special street you love to walk down? A spot where the view always makes you pause? Maybe it's the smell of food from a favorite restaurant, the way the sunlight falls through the buildings, or the sense of history in an old landmark. These are all small gifts waiting to be appreciated. The place where you live is part of your identity. It shapes how you move through the world and influences how you connect with others. Take this moment to honor your surroundings, to see them as more than just a backdrop but as a meaningful part of your life's story. Let this gratitude settle within you as we begin this reflection. Take a moment to think about the place where you live, not just as a whole but in its details. The sights, the sounds, the moments that make it unique. Every city, every town, every neighborhood has its own rhythm, its own character, and its own charm. Perhaps it's the way the streets come alive during certain times of day, the rush of morning commuters, the hum of life in the afternoon, or the quiet peace that settles in at night. Maybe there's a park nearby where the trees sway gently, a cafe where the familiar aroma of coffee feels comforting, or a favorite path that always offers a sense of calm. These details may feel ordinary at first glance, but they're what make your surroundings truly yours. Think about the people who fill your community, the energy of those who pass by, the neighbors who share small smiles, or the local shopkeeper who always greets you warmly. Even in a bustling city where faces may blur together, there's connection in the shared experience of living alongside others. And then there's the natural beauty. Even in the busiest cities, nature finds a way to weave itself in. Whether it's the flowers blooming on a windowsill, the sound of rain as it falls, or the light breaking through the clouds after a storm. These moments remind us that there is always something beautiful to notice, no matter where we are. Your surroundings are more than just functional spaces. They are part of your everyday life. The streets, the buildings, the parks, and the gathering places all tell a story about where you live. Some places may feel modern and vibrant, others timeless and historic. Each feature contributes to the atmosphere that you experience every day. Even the pace of life in your area has a personality. Maybe it's the steady flow of people and activity in a city that never sleeps. Or maybe it's the slower, quieter rhythm of a small town. Each pace offers something different, a way of living that shapes your routines and influences how you experience the world. Let yourself feel gratitude for the beauty around you, not just the grand and obvious, but the subtle and simple as well. The architecture that catches your eye, the greenery that softens the streets, the life that hums all around you. This is where you live. This is the place that holds your daily life, and there is so much here to appreciate. No place is perfect. Every city, every neighborhood, every country has its flaws. There may be things about where you live that frustrate you: noise, crowds, a lack of green spaces, or a sense that something could be better. These imperfections are real, and it's okay to feel them. But even in the midst of these challenges, there is room to find gratitude, to embrace the beauty and possibility that coexist with the flaws. Think about the things you wish were different about your surroundings. Maybe the streets feel too busy or too empty. Maybe there are parts of your community that feel overlooked, areas that need attention and care. These feelings are valid. Acknowledging them doesn't mean rejecting where you live. It means seeing it clearly and accepting it as a whole, both the good and the imperfect. But even in those imperfections, there are often hidden treasures waiting to be discovered. Maybe it's a quiet bench tucked away in a busy park, a street with a surprising view, or a corner shop that always feels welcoming. Sometimes, when we shift our focus from what's wrong to what's possible, we start to notice these small but meaningful moments. Your surroundings are a reflection of both the people who live there and the history they've created together. Maybe you see signs of that history in older buildings, in murals that tell stories, or in festivals and traditions that bring people together. Even in places that feel imperfect, there's a sense of resilience, a determination to grow and adapt. Challenges within a community can also bring people together. Maybe you've seen neighbors join forces to clean up a park or create a shared garden. Maybe you've experienced kindness from a stranger in the middle of a busy day. These moments remind us that even in places that feel flawed, connection and care can thrive. Take a deep breath and consider this. The imperfections of where you live do not define its worth. They are simply part of its story. And just as you might accept the flaws of someone you love, you can find peace in accepting the imperfections of your surroundings. Let this be a reminder that gratitude isn't about ignoring what's hard. It's about choosing to see what's good, even in the midst of challenges. Every place, like every person, has its struggles and its strengths. And where you live is no exception. Let that thought bring you a sense of balance and peace. Take a deep breath. Let the reflections we've shared settle in your heart. Where you live is not just a point on a map. It's a space that holds your life. It's the streets, the parks, the neighborhoods, and the people. It's the backdrop to your journey and a part of who you are. Think about all the moments you've experienced where you live. The connections you've made, the quiet places you've found, the routines that bring you comfort. Even the smallest details, the sound of a bird outside your window, the way the sun hits a familiar building, or the kind smile of a neighbor, are all part of what makes your place unique to you. Belonging isn't about finding a perfect place. It's about finding peace in where you are right now. It's about seeing your surroundings not just for what they are, but for what they mean to you. Every place, no matter how big or small, has the potential to feel like home if you choose to let it. Gratitude for where you live doesn't mean ignoring the challenges. It's about embracing the whole picture, the beauty, the struggles, and everything in between. It's about recognizing that where you are has shaped you, taught you, and given you a space to grow. And just as your surroundings shape you, you shape them. With every act of kindness, every smile, every choice to engage with your community, you leave your mark. You have the power to create moments of light, even in places that feel imperfect. If this reflection has brought you a sense of peace or helped you feel more connected to where you live, I invite you to subscribe to Good Thoughts. Together, we can continue exploring topics that bring gratitude, calm, and positivity into our lives. Your surroundings are just one part of your journey, and there's so much more to reflect on. In one of our upcoming videos, we'll explore the idea of community, how the people around us, from friends to strangers, shape our lives and offer lessons of connection and care. It's a reminder that no matter where you are never truly alone. Until then, carry these good thoughts with you. Let them remind you to look for the beauty, even in the smallest moments. Where you live is not just a place. It's a part of your story, a space for growth, and a reflection of your journey. Let that bring you a sense of belonging and peace.